So we're going to go back in time a little bit to a time whenever I fished the Ned rig on this small local pond that I go to. Not really so much anymore. It's kind of been, in my opinion, I think overfished. I think a lot of people have really kind of messed this pond up. At one time, it was a really good pond. It was kind of a secretive, hidden pond that was also kind of like out in the open. It was a very strange thing. Major road in front of it, but if you drove by, you would not see this pond at all. You would not even know it's there unless you have actually, drove into this little lane where the pond sits. And this is a tricky pond because, some days it's crap. Some days, you will not get a single bite. The fish are very, very touchy here. But some days, like this day, it is on fire, and you are catching them one after another. And there's some good fish in this pond. So after trying a few different things, I decided I'm going to try the Ned rig out. The Ned rig is a great versatile bait. Works great, a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different places. And I'm using my Lew's spinning combo. It's a 6.6. 3000 reel. I tied the Ned rig onto this, and it was actually a green pumpkin Ned rig. Z-Man. The sun was starting to go down, so it was starting to get a little dark, but there was still plenty of light left. Maybe an hour and a half left of daylight until the sun is just down and it's going to get dark. So I'm trying different things out. I come up on this Ned rig, but I've also noticed that whenever I bomb the Ned rig out there a little ways, I wasn't getting anything. Up close to the bank, it's not really smart at all because there's tons and tons of brush, for like the first 5 feet from the bank, that's brush. You're getting snagged constantly. And that is definitely one gripe about this pond, is that there is so much brush that is right off the bank in the water. I started going over all that brush, probably like maybe 10 feet out, 8 to 10 feet, something like that. And sure enough, the bass were there and the bass were hitting it. Now, of course, I don't know how the bottom of this pond looks like. I'm assuming it it slopes down a little bit. And then it drops. The middle area seems like it's kind of a little deep. I know this area, maybe 4 or 5 feet. I don't know. It's at the start of the drop off, basically a gradual drop off, I believe. But yeah, this first one right here that I got, I was kind of shocked that, most of what I've been getting recently is little dinky boys, nothing really big. And then I pulled that fish out. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not a monster, but it's a pretty good fish for, this area. And especially compared to what I was catching recently, this was a damn good catch. So then, of course, I started to follow the pattern, what I was doing. So then I would just go through and I would just hit, right off the bank, maybe 8 to 10 feet, something like that. I could almost see my bait. So I was seeing the bass. I was seeing them, kind of swim up and around and shit like that. But I did notice also that, I wasn't getting the same results all the way around the bank. It was mostly like 2 or 3 spots that I was actually getting, tons of fish at. Now, of course, I didn't get all of them filmed. There were actually a lot more that are not in this video. Had some GoPro issues, of course. But then I hooked into another one. Another decent catch. Definitely can't complain about it.
Holy shit.
Maybe looking at this one, maybe a little over a pound or so. But whenever I hit these, these couple spots in this pond, it was like on fire. I was getting hammered again and again. And of course, I mean, some of the hits that I was getting was actually, you know, messing with my bait. So, you know, I had to fix my bait, straighten it up a little bit more, and then plus, you know, with all the brush that I was, you know, snagging onto and the rocks. There's tons of rocks. There's like a pile of rocks all the way around this pond. And for the most part, I mean, these catches were pretty damn good. But honestly, I don't care how big they are. If I'm hammering one after another, you know, in this short amount of time, I don't care what size they are. It's still a blast. So in this area, I'm actually on the other side. I started on the other side of the pond where I was catching them. Went to the complete opposite side of the pond, and this is also where I started catching them. Ned rig is still going strong. Now, one thing you probably can't see in the video is actually there is a pipe that is near this spot where I'm going. Pond actually connects to another pond that's, you know, I don't know how many yards away, maybe a couple hundred yards away. It's all connected to this pond, and that pond is connected to another pond. There's like 3 or 4 ponds that is all connected, all in a row, and there's these pipes that connect them. So they were actually just hanging out near this pipe, and I was in the right place at the right time, using the right bait. They couldn't get enough of my stubby. They love my stubby rig. Now, as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful night, beautiful weather right here. And of course, you know, this monster that I pulled out of the water, he almost dragged me in, to be quite honest, but I had really good footing. It's kind of hard to do on these rocks, but I had some really good footing. So he wasn't able to get me in that water that day. So now, if anybody who has actually fished these Z-Man Ned rig baits, you know, these things actually hold up really well, you know, and they were just chewing this thing up. That's how many was hitting it. And I was catching on this thing because, you know, they were actually really hammering that thing, put some damage on that bait. And we all know those baits, you know, they go through a lot of shit, and they are just fine. Another monster fish. Yeah, buddy. Even the birds cheer me on. They know what's up. Another one. Look at that guy. Wow, he's been caught multiple times. You get a little smarter there, buddy. I'm just saying. He got a little squirrely. Yeah, look at that beast. Oh, yeah. I would have kept it and mounted it, but, you know, I decided to let him live another day. And, yeah, this went on for, you know, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour. So, yeah, that's about how long it kind of went on. But yes, as you can see, I am not going out very far at all. Maybe 10, 12 feet out. Another one. See? That's crazy. The little guys are popping right off, which is fine with me. I would say out of all the baits that I've tried, you know, the Ned rig probably worked out probably by far the best. But I think it was a combination of, you know, the time of day, the right bait at the right time. And these fish were just on it. They were active. They really wanted to get my Ned rig. Overall, it was a fun little time while it lasted. Did a great job with the Ned rig on that pond. So definitely, if you're struggling a little bit on some pond you're fishing, you know, they just ain't biting, whatever, try the Ned rig. Definitely try the Ned rig. It works great. I love the Ned rig. I don't use it every time, but it is definitely one of my baits that I like to go to. There we are. Oh my God. He instantly snagged that one.
And as soon as it hit the water, he was on it. Come on, buddy. Stop fighting. Of course, I have to have a limb in front of me. Oh. There we go. There's a little bit more enthusiasm. Yeah, this guy's been caught a few times too. Another quality fish.
I'm gonna see you on the next one. That was my story. Story time over.